The Every Point Sports Podcast featuring Greg and Jack starts right now.
Oh, welcome in everyone to the Every Point Sports Podcast. I am Jack Stash from Fantasy Farm Sports. We are here with the old gamer GK, Greg Kratzer. What's going on, Greg?
Not too much. Week 2, week 1 is in the books, and it was a good week for all of us.
Yeah, we did well. I think America missed on Cincinnati, but we flushed that. We move forward to this week. We're taking a look at all the games today. Guys, we want you to make money because we are making money.
That's right. And also, guys, we're winning our fantasy matchup. So if you guys have any questions or anything, please put it in the comments. We'll answer any fantasy questions that you guys have as quick as we get them up on the screen. So, yeah, I guess we start off with our first game of the day.
What you got on the docket, Greg?
We got the Las Vegas Raiders against the Baltimore Ravens. Spreads at Raiders are getting 8.5. Over under is 41. Money line plus 310 for the Raiders, minus 395 for the Ravens. It's a lot of points.
What are your first thoughts?
A lot of points. First thoughts. Gardner Minshew is one of those quarterbacks where he'll have a bad game like he did last week, and then the following week just come out and look like he's a starting quarterback. So that right there scares me. If you really wanted to take it, I mean, the Ravens should definitely win this. I know it's minus 395, but you take the money line. 8.5 is a lot of points, people. Even though I think ultimately they do cover. Why take that chance if you even have a little bit of doubt about that? Just take the money line and put a $10 bet and make your dollar on it.
Yeah, I mean that's the safe bet, right? That's how you want to 110% play this game. You put this game in with a parlay, but I'll tell you what, everybody's talking about how bad Gardner Minshew was last week, but he wasn't that bad. The line was awful. His stats were decent.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so like their running back Zamir White was a joke.
Yeah, I know.
The fact that they moved the ball at all with what they had in front of them should be a positive. So it should be positive news. I'll tell you what. It just
shows. I don't mean to cut you off, but real quick, it just shows you that Josh Jacobs wasn't the problem last year.
No, not at all. And
that whole couple yards every time. I had to bench Josh Jacobs a couple times last year. Just by the poor performances he was getting. So that just proves it wasn't him. Zamir White did absolutely nothing this past week. So
I would look at this. I would look at the fact that, I think that the Ravens, they win on the money line. This game is suspicious, right? Because it was Raiders 9. Now it's come down to 8.5. I would look at this. You could take the Ravens on the money line and the Raiders getting 10.
Okay.
Same game, you're rooting on the opposite ends. I think Baltimore wins, but I don't think Baltimore's great. And that's as good as Lamar Jackson was last week, he can't throw to win you a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that Gardner Minshew has the weapons to get it done. You're right, though. I think 8.5 points is an overreaction.
Yeah. Just to let you guys know, listen, if you guys are big into the betting scene. You guys could shop around your bets. Go on DraftKings. Go on FanDuel. Go on BetMGM. Whatever other ones are out there. You can find better odds by a half a point if you shop around a little bit. I know yesterday over on FanDuel, this game was at 8, while every place else was 8.5. So if you guys really are into it, you guys really want that extra half a point towards your favor, shop around a little bit.
That's great advice. And you know what? Hard Rock has it at 9 right now. And that's exclusive to Florida where I'm at. But if you're in Florida, hey, and you have the option to go with that or Fliff or Better or Prize Picks,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then yeah, you can take shots like that. That's really great advice. It really is.
Okay, so we both like the Ravens in this. We both like the money line. We both agree. Stay away from the spread. What's your thoughts on the over under? 41 is pretty low. I feel like the Ravens could put up 30 on the Raiders.
You know what's interesting? There's a lot of low over unders this week.
Yeah.
Lots of low stuff. I don't know what to think because you need the Raiders to participate to get this over. I don't think the Ravens offense is all figured out. I think they're going to be very heavy. Listen to my fantasy people. I think Derrick Henry's going to get a lot of work today. 25 carries. They're going to want to make him feel but they're going to want to make him feel really good in this offense. He didn't feel comfortable last week. I think they're still working him in, but I think Derrick Henry has a monster week.
Just a quick touch on that, not feeling comfortable. It's because he's running out of the shotgun more often than not now. Even in college, throughout his whole career with Tennessee, he was used to running out of the quarterback under center. Now I don't know if this is a PR thing, but he has come out and said he would rather run out of the shotgun because he's able to see the holes better. That didn't transition right last week, but again, just a food of thought. He is used to running out of where the quarterback is under center, I formation, single back. But now he's running more out of the shotgun. So we might want to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I mean, I do believe, though, if you sit there and think about it, right, he didn't have a great start last week. The Raiders, they're not a great run defense right now. They're right now they are not. Yeah. And I think that the score being the over-under being low could reflect the fact that Baltimore wants to get his wheels rolling.
Yeah, I agree. Make him feel comfortable. They got the passing game going a little bit last week, more out of necessity than anything. But that seemed to be rolling more. Lamar missed on a couple throws that he should have made, a couple reads that he should have made. But that will get better throughout the season, I believe. But ultimately, they were a pretty good passing team last week. Subpar with the whole run game, though. I thought I expected more out of Derrick Henry. That's why I brought up the whole shotgun thing, because I think that affected him more than what people realize.
Okay, all right. What else we got? What's our next game?
Well, let's really quick. We touched on you like what you call it from the Ravens as far as fantasy wise.
That's what I like.
You don't like Lamar. You don't like Mark Andrews. Anybody? You like anybody on the Ravens? You like Devontae at all?
I think Mark Andrews is dead in the water. I think because he's such a good football player, it's going to hurt him catching. He's going to be playing on the line. That line's awful. That line's it's not bad. They're awful. And Harbaugh is going to have an extra tight end, and he's the blocking tight end. Clearly, Isaiah Likely.
Yeah.
Likely's the better athlete out of Eastern Carolina. Him and Lamar have built a rapport over the years, and when you become the better athlete, they have to put you out there. I look at Likely almost like a Brandon Ingram. I mean, he can really motor. He's got all the skills. And
he had that sick touchdown catch last week. That sick catch. It was disgusting. He had that sick touchdown catch last week.
Not Brandon Ingram, by the way. Evan Ingram is who I meant.
Evan Ingram. I know who you meant. Yeah. But yeah, he has great hands, and he's so athletic for a tight end.
So who would you rather out there? You'd rather Zay Jones hiding behind Isaiah Likely and having them work as a tandem and having Mark Andrews block. Mark Andrews, to me, is a blocking tight end now. He might catch a couple balls, but I think his elite tight end years are behind him. The person I feel really bad in this offense for is Rashad Bateman, because he's an excellent talent and his quarterback's inaccurate. It's a fact.
I feel bad for all their wide receivers, put it that way.
Well, I mean, Bateman had to get on the board with a one-handed, almost Odell Beckham-like catch last week. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, so next game. My game, 49ers at Vikings. I don't know why that just did that, but okay. Okay, we got 49ers at Vikings. Niners are giving 4.5. Over-unders 46.5. Money line, Niners are negative 218. Minnesota's plus 180. Now, Minnesota did win this matchup last year. Kirk Cousins under the helm, under center. I'll let you give your first thought on this game since I'm the homer here.
I don't know what to think about the Vikings because I know what I think about the Giants. Okay. I mean,
Mhm.
that's, the Vikings handled their business against right now a franchise that has no direction. They couldn't even muster up enough money in New York City. Think about this to sign their best player in the offseason.
Yeah.
They paid Daniel Jones a bunch of money he's not worth. And the Vikings smashed them,
Mhm.
right? I expect much different this week. I mean, the 49ers will probably roll, but I can see this over coming in. 46 and a
Mhm.
half. I can see the Vikings participating. San Francisco's secondary wasn't spectacular. There were drops by the Jets, but they
Mhm.
were in their hands. And with that being said, I don't think Justin Jefferson drops a lot of balls. And if Sam Darnold has a clean pocket, he does throw a friendly pass. So,
Mhm.
obviously Sam Darnold played, he was a backup in San Francisco last year. So San Francisco knows what they're getting or what they're going up against. I think the 49ers win. That line's suspicious because I think it should be more. That's another money line play for me. But I really like this over. I think get in
Mhm.
the 50s, 30, 35, 28,
Mhm.
maybe.
Okay. All right. Um, I also like the 49ers, of course, in this game. Um, I think Jefferson will be a thorn in our side. I could easily see him getting, 120 yards, a touchdown. Uh, but I think that's kind of where it stops. I don't think the Vikings really have a shot in this game. I think going against the Niners defense, we're going to see why Darnold has resorted to being a backup for the later half in his career. Uh, I agree with you. If Darnold has a clean pocket, he throws a nice friendly ball. Plus, I mean, the guy still has elite arm talent. The guy can toss it with like nobody else in the NFL. So that's where the Vikings do have a puncher's chance. But again, I don't think they could outscore them. I'm not sold on their defense. Um, I see the Niners winning this. I could see
Probably by
32.
10. I mean, it's probably by 10 because the Vikings also don't have Jordan Addison this week, too. So
Mhm.
that's something to consider. You don't have a 1-2 punch. You've got
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, who's going to get smothered at the line of scrimmage because that's where
Mhm.
San Francisco's really strong, right? And then you have Justin Jefferson. And
Mhm.
although I do think San Francisco's secondary didn't look perfect, I think if you only have one weapon in there, you're really tying Sam Darnold's one arm behind his back, and I just don't think he's good enough to muster up enough here. San Francisco, I mean, if you're scared, just take the money line.
1992, Greg. 1992. I don't understand that, but okay.
1992.
Uh,
What was that when
yeah, I
when
don't.
Kirk
I don't.
Carter still played and Randy Moss
I
was
don't.
still there?
I'm not sure. But anyways, I do. I like the Niners probably 32. I could see them getting a late touchdown again. 32-21. I could see it. I was
Yeah, and
thinking
that's
more 31 or 32 14, but I could see them getting another late touchdown at the end.
that still covers that 10
Wasn't that
points.
the last time? Okay, he's saying the last time the Niners won in Minnesota was 92. All right, that very well could be, and I'm sure that is the case. But again, I'm not worried about that. That was a different regime, um, different teams. So I like the Niners today, and I like them to cover. I like the 4.5. Again, if you guys shop around, this was 4 at some places, and you could get it at 5 in other places. Um, I would take the over on this game. I think there is going to be points scored. This might be a in-game tease. I do take the over in the Niners. You end up getting a 1.5, and then that takes a over down to 40.5. So there you go. There's a winner for you guys right there. Bet your house right there. Bet your house tease.
Yeah, I love that as a bet your house. You just convinced I'm going to take the 49ers today.
Okay.
I'm
Mhm.
in.
So all right. Fantasy wise, we got Christian McCaffrey out. That hurts. I know people. It sucks. A lot of people. That was your first pick in the draft. All I could
San
say, listen,
Francisco
I
40,
didn't do it,
40
but I'm
liars.
sorry.
San
But I'm
Francisco
sorry,
40
guys.
liars. They
Yeah.
lied about his Achilles.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
Achilles
I
gate.
agree with you.
That's what this is.
Other players on the team. I think Brandon Ayuk has a bounce back week. I think he gets you a touchdown this week. Jefferson will definitely get you a touchdown. I just said I think he gets you about 120 yards receiving and a touchdown. Aaron Jones, Niners have a pretty good run defense. You could play him. He might get you a touchdown, maybe 60, 70 yards rushing. Jordan Mason, Niners backup. This guy right here is going to be a stud. A stud. Watch for over 100 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns from him this week. He should have had 2 last week, but Debo with the holding penalty took 1 away, and then the next play Debo gets it. So, but anyways, yeah, those are the players that I like this week, fantasy wise.
Yeah, I love the Iowa call. Jefferson, you know what though? If Aaron Jones does anything, it's going to be on a screen pass because they're killing Darnold all day.
Mhm.
And I can see 40 receiving, 20 rushing, no touchdown.
Mhm.
That's how I feel. The front of San Francisco strong. Linebackers are good. It's the cornerback.
I mean, Warner's probably the best inside linebacker in the league.
Well, you know what? He's good sideline to sideline. That's the big
Mhm.
deal with him.
And he can and he can cover like a safety.
Yeah, and Aaron Jones doesn't break anybody down. He's a scat back.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't start him. I don't ignore the predictions. Oh, it says 7. He ain't getting 7.
Mhm.
It's not happening. So if you guys have Aaron Jones, don't even flex him.
Okay.
Fade him. I wouldn't
All
start
right.
Aaron Jones whatsoever.
Okay. I'm at least giving him the benefit of a late touchdown. So, I mean, even then, that might not be enough for your flex player. So, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. If you have somebody that's more serviceable, somebody that will get you more than 8 points, yeah, start them instead. Jalen Naylor touchdown. Very well could be. I mean, I predicted 32-21. So there's 3 touchdowns out there for somebody.
Before we move on, I would rather start George Pickens against Denver because at least Fields will throw it up in the air and give him a 50-50 ball than Aaron Jones against the 49ers front.
Absolutely.
That's where I would be.
I totally agree with you.
And I know Patrick Surtain is up there in Denver waiting for him, but it's not it's not the best matchup. He's not going to be there all the time. I just think the 49ers defensive front, look what Breece Hall did. 40 yards and a touch. I mean, they're suffocating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, down bringing in Collins from the Texans really made that run defense. I know it was only 1 week right now, guys, but to me, looking at last week, really solidified that run defense this year. He's much better against the run than Armstead was.
Yeah, I'm not a homer, but I mean that looked tough last week.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Next, we got the Saints versus the Cowboys. Saints is getting 6.5. Over under is 47. Saints on money line is getting plus 235. Dallas is getting negative 190.
What do you think about
on this? This game here, I am not touching. I'm not touching with the 10-foot pole.
I think there's lots of value here.
I wasn't high on the Saints at all. They ended up coming out firing last week. I did mention last week, if you remember, they were going to unveil new offense, which it looked pretty potent.
So, what was Rodney Dangerfield's famous line? You remember?
I get no respect.
That's right. And Vegas does not respect the Saints whatsoever. They don't respect what they did last week. They trounced a college football quarterback and a college football team in Carolina Panthers. Okay, that's just listen. I want the Panthers to be good. Unfortunately, their organization doesn't hire people that know how to do that. 6.5. Listen, if you're getting 6.5 against the Cowboys team that beat the Browns in Cleveland last week, you know they're telling you basically that the Cowboys at home, they think that they could beat the Saints by at least 10.
Yeah.
Do I like
agree.
the over-under here? I don't know. Because if the Dallas Cowboys defense shows up and Carr turns into a bicycle, we're in trouble here.
Yeah.
They might not
that's
participate
why
in the
I'm
game.
not touching this game. I'm not touching this game.
Oh,
One,
I
I
love
don't
the
know what
Cowboys.
I
Give me
don't know
Cowboys
what
on the money
Dallas
line.
team. See, I'm not touching. I don't know what Dallas team I'm getting, and I don't know what Saints team I'm getting. I don't know enough about either team after last week. I thought I knew more than I did about the teams of last week, and that's the thing. Listen, guys, if you go into 1 week thinking you know a lot about that team and it doesn't pan out for you, next week, don't be stubborn. Admit when you were wrong. I was wrong last week about the Saints. I think we both like the Cowboys, but I wasn't high on the Cowboys. So therefore, I still want to learn a little bit more about these teams before I place any money on them.
We were wrong about Joe Burrow's haircut. That's what we were wrong about.
Oh my God, yeah, we were
thought it was good.
wrong. The American public was wrong too.
Yeah, you know what though?
Everybody
I
was
think,
wrong.
listen, I can read some lines I'm good at reading, and this 6.5 is bull. It should be 8, it should be 10. What the Saints did last week is not what the Saints are. You're playing in Dallas, by the way, their 1st home game of the season. There is no way the New Orleans Saints win this game. There's no way.
Okay.
And by the way,
right.
you're getting it should be probably a minus 250. It's minus 190. I think you're getting value there. I would take that all
Okay.
day. I am
All
taking
right.
that.
Okay. All right. Well, Jack's telling you right now that's a guaranteed pick right there. Dallas. I'm staying away from it. I am not.
I love
touching it.
Ezekiel Elliott for a touchdown too. How about that for fantasy owners?
Okay.
Load him.
Okay. CD Lamb, I think, has a nice game this week.
New Orleans secondary is tough.
Yeah, but he's still gonna get it. He's just a freak. He's gonna
he's
get
tough.
it. He really is. I don't know anybody really on the Saints that I mean, Kamara looked good last week, but is
Olave's got to bounce back.
week?
You can't have a 1 reception for 3 yards or 2 receptions for 15 yards. You got to get Olave involved in the game, or trade him, because what we're starting to see is that Derek Carr throws to certain receivers well. He throws the speed well, and he throws the height well. He doesn't throw the route running great. Okay, that's just, we know that now. And I think Olave is a great route runner, and I think he's got a lot of value on another football team. So maybe it's time to move him. That's
okay. I gotcha. Again. Okay. I really don't like anybody in this game. I don't like this game, so I'm not doing anything. I'm not touching fantasy wise or touching the game money. But Jack does like the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think it's
money line. Money line.
Yeah, but you know what? Put the Cowboys together with the 49ers.
Oh, there you
Let's
go.
get some value.
Parlay it. I love parlays. I'm a sucker for parlays. Maybe that's why I lose sometimes. Yeah, I mean, you've seen, I did this is 2 weeks in a row that I hit on a 20-team parlay in college.
Yeah, it's great.
I do 20 teams. I do 7 teams. I do 8. I just love parlays. And sometimes they pan out and other times they don't. What's that?
It's the French in you. You're French. Parlay.
Parlay.
Oui to parlay.
All right. Next game on the docket, we got the Chargers and the Panthers. Chargers giving 5.5, over under 39. Money line, Chargers at negative 225, and Panthers are at plus 185.
This game I'm not touching.
Okay.
Because as bad as the Panthers looked last week, and they looked bad, the one thing you noticed with Dave Canales as the offensive coordinator with the Tampa Bay Bucks last year is if they had a bad game, he got better. And you know, I don't think much of Bryce Young, but I also don't think much of this Chargers team yet. You know, I think that, you know, you have to understand that there were games when Harbaugh took over Michigan the first year and you were like, oh, they should kick. Oh, Illinois is fighting them, or oh, Indiana's giving them some trouble. I don't know if the Chargers know exactly what they are yet. The over under is low at 38.5, which means the Chargers are going to try to still establish that offensive line and pound the rock. So I kind of like the over here.
Okay.
I think the Panthers participate more than people think.
Okay.
I don't know. I
I
don't know what to think about the line.
I mean 5.5. I put it this way. We all know what we just talked about the Raiders. Last week that's who the Chargers played. Beat them 22-10. I pretty much think this falls right in line with that game. I think it's going to be similar. 20 something to 10, 20 something to 7. So I do like the 5.5, giving the 5.5. I'm staying away from the over under. I don't like that. That's too low. It's kind of sneaky. Or if you really want to short up, I'm putting the Chargers in a parlay. So I like the Chargers to win this straight out, no problem. If you really want to take the points, the 5, but you can lay the 5.5. I don't have an issue with that.
You know what the Chargers did a lot last week? Just before we move on to our next game, the Chargers kicked a lot of field goals.
Mm-hmm.
I could see this being like 19-17. You missing one
Okay.
of those field goals that you missed last week that was a little bit longer. I don't really like that because I got Dicker the kicker, but I don't like that. But 19-17 Panthers look better. They look like a football team, and I just this is one that's so sneaky to me.
Mhm.
I don't know anything about these teams really.
Yeah.
Panthers weren't as bad as what they put up last week, and the Chargers, Dicker's fantastic, but he's not Morton Anderson, so we'll find out.
And it's one of those things people might say, oh, but they kicked a lot of field goals this game. That just shows you that they were moving the ball. So therefore, this week, maybe one of those field goals turns into a touchdown.
Yeah,
So that's the way I look at it. You're
That's
still
true.
moving the ball. I don't care if you're kicking field goals. Do I want to see more touchdowns? Absolutely. But the point is, you're moving the ball. You're progressing. You're getting points on the board. So maybe next game, one or two of those field goals turns into touchdowns. So that's kind of how I look at it. You're still a good team that's scoring points. So like I said, I do like the Chargers, and I like guys. I am a Chargers fan this year because of Harbaugh. I like Harbaugh. I think he is a hell of a coach, and he's going to win for you more than he's going to lose for you.
What if the Chargers win by 3, and that field goal puts you over 38.5 to 39?
Yeah.
Right? I don't know, but I like the over here. It's suspicious. The whole game's suspicious to me.
Yeah, very. I just don't think the Panthers can score.
It's in Carolina, by the way.
I get that. That to me that means nothing when they're talking about
I
the
think
Panthers.
it's
It's
a
the
little-
Panthers.
home
You know what I
openers are-
mean?
Home openers are a little different, though.
Yeah. I mean, they
I
did
don't love
lose
them. I don't love them, but
47-10 to the Saints.
the Chargers should be
just
9-10
saying.
here. Why aren't they?
I don't. Well, because they're not. The Chargers doesn't have as much firepower, I believe, in NFL's eyes as the Saints.
Yeah, but I'm worried about star quarterback and what Vegas wonders. That's what I'm. The lines are made by Vegas.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, Vegas wise. I don't mean NFL. I mean Vegas wise. I don't think Vegas is sold anymore on Herbert. I think that their Prince Darling is gone for a while. He'll have to prove it, I think, to them, and then once he proves it again, or if he does, that's when they'll fall in love with him again. But I think they're kind of over him.
That could be true.
Yeah, and
All
I
right,
think
what's
the
our next
reason
game?
why I do believe the reason why the Chargers are favored in a lot of these games is because of the coaching.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So, okay, next we got the Bucks versus Lions. Bucks are getting 7.5 this game. Over unders 51.5. Money line Bucks are at plus 295. Lions are at negative 375. Jack, what is your thoughts on your Buccaneers getting 7.5?
Well, I'm a Bucks fan. More importantly, I'm a Baker Mayfield believer. I have been for 3 years. While everyone sat on the sideline and said he wasn't a starting quarterback. Let's start there. I believe that that Vegas thinks that the Lions are a lot better than they are. Essentially, the Lions are getting the Rams part 2, right? Because Liam Cohen runs the Rams offense. The Bucks are gonna be able to score. There's not a big difference from last year, I don't believe, and that's why this line sits the same. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
I would want a little bit more points if I was Tampa Bay, and the reason why is simple. There's no Antoine Winfield. There's no Carlton
Mm-hmm.
Davis. So you're missing two key players on defense. I believe that the Lions will get a lead, or they will take the lead late. I don't think Tampa can stop them. Okay, that's the truth. This should be a
Mm-hmm.
slam dunk for the Lions. I think that if you guys are thinking, I saw this the other day. Should I start Baker Mayfield or should I start Joe Burrow? And I will tell you that 2 years ago, everyone would have said Burrow. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
on that thread said to start Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
And the Lions run the most one-on-one coverage in the league, because Dan Campbell thinks that he matches up well against anybody,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not going to match up well against Meg Evans.
No, but they do have two really good shutdown corners on each side, so that's why they're able to play a lot more man than most teams. But I agree with you. Yeah. Mike Evans proved he can just his prowess, his receiving prowess alone, let alone his physical height and stature. He would catch the balls. It doesn't matter who you put on him.
Tampa
Then
Bay's
you got
competitive.
Goodwin. Yeah. Then you got Goodwin coming out of the slot again. He had a nice week last week coming out of the slot. So yeah, I think this is going to be a very competitive game. 7.5 is a lot. I think Detroit ultimately does win this game, but 7.5 is a lot when you're dealing with Baker. Baker's a wild card. Baker has that competitive edges that, I could see this easily being a 3-point game.
This could be one of those where you're like, hey, the Bucks are like, where you're on Monday morning, you go, the Bucks just beat the Lions. They're for real.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
That Washington game last week was fairly easy. That got them rolling. But you could turn around Monday morning and be like, you know what? This team's dangerous. This team's a real contender in the NFC, and they did it without two of their best players. I would not touch this game.
Yeah, I'm not. This is one of those games I'm going to stay away from. I'm going to watch it in the background because, of course, my Niners game will be on. But I think this is going to be a really good game. I think this is going to be I think this is going to be a lot closer than people realize.
Under 51.5.
Gotcha. Okay.
I just feel like they're going to run. They're both going to try to beat the hell out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
24-20 somehow.
Okay. All right. I do have a couple of people starting in this game. I got Goodwin starting in one league, Mike Evans starting in another league, and I actually set DK Metcalf this week for Williams for the Lions.
Yeah, that's a good play. That's a good play.
So just so everybody knows, I know last week I mentioned Williams. You might want to look at him. He had a killer game. This week I am following my own advice. I am sending DK Metcalf and starting Williams. So,
yeah, and again, I'm not saying to sit Burrow, but I'm saying that I'm really close. I'm on the edge, and I don't know whether I'm going to do it or not. But I'm thinking I have a question myself between Anthony Richardson and Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at this Colts-Packers game. Colts are favored by 2.5. And the over-under is 41, right? Mm-hmm. And then I'm looking at this Bucs-Lions game. The over-under is 51.5. These are things to consider, folks, when you're thinking about, if that's 10 points.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, do I think my quarterback's going to contribute to at least 7 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
So, these are
real quickly, I just want to back up your thought on the Burrow situation. Anybody that's followed the Bengals and Joe Burrow, they are notorious for starting off slow. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 starting put together. Week 5, we start seeing the Bengals again. And then week 6, like exploding. So I'm with Jack, I think, on this one. I think you set Burrow. I really do. If it was week 4 or week 5, I'd be like, no, you're crazy. Start Burrow. they are notorious for starting off slow. So yes, I am with you 100% on that for
Yeah,
Burrow.
and I don't like, Mayfield's a guy that if he's got confidence, you're in trouble. And he
Mhm.
said he's never felt more comfortable than when he was at Oklahoma in college in the NFL. Like he's
Mhm.
got a home in Tampa, and words are just words, and you could say whatever you want. And then you look at last week and you go, Jesus, okay, all right, well,
Mhm.
everybody's getting touchdowns. I mean, it's just facts are facts. 146 quarterback rating.
Mhm.
Cleveland doesn't like quarterbacks.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. All right. Next, we got the Colts at the Packers. Colts are giving 3 over unders 41. Colts are money line is at negative 142 and Packers are at plus 120. This is another game that I do not like. I don't like it at all. I don't know what we're going to get with Willis starting for the Packers. And I still don't know what we got with the Colts.
How does it feel though? In
I mean,
Lambeau,
to me, it feels like the Packers should run away with this. To me, but
yeah.
again, no love though. Will Willis go? Will we see a different Willis than what we seen last year? Like there was a reason why he lost his job and got traded.
Well, Tennessee's front office liked him. Mike Vrabel never liked him. He never gave him the
Mhm.
opportunity to play. And
Yeah, but
then
Vrabel's
obviously,
not there anymore. They
but they
could if
okay.
they liked him, they could have easily kept him
But
because
he was
they liked
buried on
him.
the depth. He was buried on the depth. So let's
Mhm.
remember where Malik Willis came out of. He came out of Liberty. Okay,
Yeah,
he had
yeah. He was a
tons.
small product. He had a killer arm. He was good mobility. You
He's
know.
got all the stuff, but
Mhm.
he didn't run a pro style offense. He didn't do
Mhm.
this. He didn't check this box. Vrabel didn't like him, right? So he really didn't know why they drafted him. And then he buries him on the depth chart. They draft somebody else. They moved on from Vrabel, and it's like you're the real cool toy sitting over here, but nobody recognizes you anymore.
Mhm.
Right? You're Tickle Me Elmo in 2025 when people are using phones. Right. So that's what
Yeah.
Willis really is. And
Okay.
I think LaFleur has spent all week tailoring a Liberty-like offense against a Colts defense that isn't very good either.
Mhm.
And I believe he could get enough out of him. Listen, Green Bay is well coached.
Oh, very well. LaFleur's a great coach. He really is.
I like Green Bay here.
Okay. All right. My gut tells me Green Bay, but again, I said before, this is a game that I personally would stay away from because, again, I know what the Packers are, but I don't know what they are without Love. I don't know what the Colts are even with Anthony Richardson. I just don't. Are they a running team? Are they a throwing team? Are they a balanced team? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm getting with Anthony Richardson, to be honest with you. I really don't.
I think you're getting I'll tell you. I think you're getting
I know what his talent is,
I think
but
you're
I don't know
getting
what I'm getting with him.
You're getting Lamar Jackson with first year decision making. And
Okay.
that guy doesn't travel well yet.
Mhm.
In Lambeau, lots of cheese curds being thrown at him on the field. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but I something tells me that LaFleur figured enough out where they could run odd options and pound Jacobs and look at you could throw a slant Willis, right? Good. Reed's quick. I'll tell you what, Reed on slants,
Mhm.
he's tough. And he
Yeah.
reminded me a lot the other week, and I hate to put him in this category, but like a young Antonio Brown. He knows how fast
Mhm.
he is.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
And
actually had him benched last week, and I'm starting him this week,
that was
so
fantastic. I really appreciate that.
So, yeah. Yeah, yeah. All right, and, unfortunately, I have to start Jonathan Taylor. He's one of my running backs I'm gonna have to live and die with. I just hope he can get in the end zone. That's his only saving grace right now because he's not getting the yardage. He's like, Bryce Hall. If they're not getting in the end zone, they're kind of worthless to you.
Yeah, I'm not I was never a big Jonathan Taylor guy.
Mhm. Well, I
Everybody was
got him at the end of the first or beginning of the second. It was one of those things. You take a running back You hope he's going to do good. He has the pedigree to do good. He's proven that he could. So,
Yeah, I don't know who I would have taken there, but maybe I would have taken a wide receiver, and I hate doing that too.
oh,
Early.
I did. I did take one.
Oh, all right. What's next on our docket? Who we got? Who we
Yeah.
got playing?
Next we got. Let's see here. We got the Jets at the Titans. Jets are giving 4 over unders 41. Jets money line is -185, and Titans are at +154.
I don't love it. I don't love this game at all.
No. Ultimately, I think the Jets are going to end up winning this. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a bounce back week. We're going to see him getting his other receivers involved. The only thing that scares me is if the Titans special teams weren't so shitty last week, they would have won that game last week. So they have a pretty good team. It's just will they be able to put it together this year? So I do like the Jets in this game. I like the money line in this game. I'm not really thrilled with the spread. I think this might be one of those 3-point games.
All right, I'm with you. All right, guys, here's your parlay for the day. Ready? Take these games. Take the Jets, take the Niners, take the Cowboys. There's your parlay of the day.
There you go.
That's a great parlay, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't. The Titans again. They should have stepped on the Bears' necks. They didn't. Aaron Rodgers will somehow. Well, look, if the Bears were able to outsmart Will Levis, the Jets will as well. I think the Jets and the Titans are both participants in this game, but that -4 is telling you that the Jets have more talent.
Yeah, absolutely, and they do. They have a stacked roster.
Yeah, they got a stacked team. So give me the Jets, and I think that's a great parlay to build for you guys.
Yep. Starting in Rodgers, of course, because Tua. Luckily, I kept Tua on my bench instead of starting him this week, so I am rolling with Aaron Rodgers. I could see Bryce Hall having a bounce back week against that Titans defense, getting a touchdown or two, one on the ground, one in the air. And Garrett Wilson, I mean, what more can you say? I mean, even last week he had some great catches. I think he's going to have a killer game too. Lazard, never was sold on him, never will be. He drops too many balls for Michael.
Let's see. Garrett Wilson gets you a touchdown this week. The Jets.
Okay.
Little update on that Tua news too. By the way, he's going to see. And I don't know who asked him to do this, or maybe that was him, but he's going to see an independent neurologist.
Okay, good.
So
good.
That's not trending in the greatest decision.
Well, no, I'm just happy that he's seeing somebody else besides the people that he was seeing before.
Yeah,
that's it. It's a tough situation for him. It really is. He had a bright future in front of him, and then had injuries. But you need to think about your health. This one here might make him retire. I mean, that whole when that arm straightened out like that, like this, I mean, sometimes it's up to the team. I mean, sometimes you have to save the player from himself. Maybe the NFL kind of has to step into this.
Well, it's going to be tough because he's guaranteed $125 million.
Is it 125 or is it 160?
That's even worse.
I think I Googled it yesterday because I seen that there was rumblings of retirement, and I was wondering what his guaranteed was. I think it was like 167 or something like that, if I remember correctly.
It's a lot of money.
So, yeah. Yep, and he just signed that in this offseason. So,
yes, he did.
All right, back to our picks. So we both like the Jets.
Yeah.
Next game, we got a Seattle Seahawks against the New England Patriots. Seahawks are getting 3.5. Over under is 38. Money line, Seattle's -170. Patriots are +142. What's your thoughts on this game? This one's kind of weird. We both were down on the Patriots last week. They came out. They beat what we thought was a very good Bengals team. Think they could do that again this week?
Yeah, I kind of think they can. just because there's for fantasy news, there's no Kenneth Walker this week. He's out with an abdominal injury. And so Seattle's a mystery at running back. Is it going to be Charbonnet? I don't think he's great. Is it going to be some other guy they drafted? Maybe. Geno Smith isn't good enough to get it done on his own. DK Metcalf is going to be shadowed by the Patriots' best cornerback, and he's good. His rookie last season, super talented. Name escapes me, but this could be a game that New England wins. I think that this could be one of those games where they have more talent on the field.
Which is kind of weird because
I know
in the beginning of the season, the Patriots, I thought, was one of the most talented, depleted teams in the NFL. So to say those words is like, wow, after week one. I'm kind of with you a little bit on this game. I really am. Patriots showed me something last week. They played old school football last week. They ran the ball with Stevenson a lot. They controlled the clock. They played strong defense. And they only passed it when they needed to. Brissett played a killer game. That's my only thing with him. When he's, and this has been a staple with Jacoby throughout his career.
Okay.
When he's counted out of a game, when they say, listen, your team doesn't have a chance, he comes in and he wins that game. He plays lights out. But when you say, all right, Brissett, this should be a win for you. This should be, this is a game that you guys can handle. He seems to fall off the map. So this is what that is one reason why I have just a tiny bit of reservation about this game is because of the up and down career of Jacoby Brissett. Those games that you count him out, he's not supposed to do good. Patriots supposed to get dismantled. He comes in and he looks like a superstar. But those games that are supposed to be regular, those routine games that you're supposed to win, those are the games he tends to lose. So that's why I'm a little bit of reserved with this, but I do like the Patriots in this game.
So if it was,
you hold a gun to my head, if we're playing Russian roulette and I have to take somebody instead of pulling the trigger, I'm taking the Patriots.
Everything says to take the Patriots. Seahawks are -3. I do like the Seahawks secondary a lot as well. And after last week, the gut says the Patriots will win this game. They're at home. Seattle's traveling to them. You know what? I'm going to take Seattle though.
Okay.
I really
long travel too, for all the way from Seattle over to New England.
I'm with you. I'm with you, but I just kind of, there's still a reason why the Seattle Seahawks are -3. Brissett makes enough mistakes to show you why he's not a starting caliber quarterback. That's it.
Okay. All right. Listen, I'm not touching the game, but like I said, if I had to, I'm taking the money line with the Patriots. But again, I'm not touching this game. I'm not betting on this game at all.
Feeling frisky,
if you guys are hearing us and hearing our picks, we're only picking because we have to. But we're telling you, money-wise, we are not taking this game.
If you're feeling frisky, take the Seahawks to win. Take the Packers to win.
Ooh.
Hey, look, right. Frisky, right?
Yeah.
Look at you. Gotta you want to be a cat daddy today? You feeling frisky? That's what you gotta do.
I think DK comes back with a better. He couldn't have a worse week than he did last week. He had a horrible fantasy week, so I think he comes back with a stronger week this week. But I think Jack might have been 1 year ahead on his predictions, because I think Stevenson's going to actually end up being a really good fantasy back this year. I really do. Jack had him as like his number one last year. I think he was just a year behind. Just 1 year. If he would have waited till this year, I think he had something. But no, I the way Mayo was using him, it was like, that's the way we thought. That's the way you thought Stevenson was going to be used last year.
Yeah, that's the way he should have been used. I got him in the 8th round this year, so if I had more hands, I'd pat myself on the back. But I only got 2, and I'm working for you guys right now.
All right. So now next we got a pretty shitty game on the docket here. We got
Come
the
on.
Giants at the Commanders. Come on. What do you mean, come on?
It's a great game. First game
Giants
of the
are
week.
getting a point and a half. Over under is 43 and a half. Giants money line is at plus 102. Commanders are at negative 122. Thoughts on this game besides it's trash?
Besides it's trash. Thoughts on this game? Well, I watched the Commanders last week, and I don't see anything from that defense.
Yeah.
I don't see anything from that defense at all. So Daniel Jones is going to have the same windows to throw in that he had at Duke. I think he's athletic enough to make them competitive in this game. I actually think the Giants win. I like them getting one. You don't have to take the 1.5, right? But I think the Giants defense is better and their offense can get enough done against the Commanders. This was our bet this week, by the way. I know it's 43.5. I came down a little bit on it, and I took this game over 40 points. The Commanders will participate. Jaden Daniels started getting confidence late last game. I think this probably hits 44, 45 points. It got as high, by the way, as 44.5 at books during the week. So 40 should be safe, and that's what we want to do. I'm on this one all over it.
Okay. I do like the over. I mean, the Commanders did put up 20 points on Tampa Bay's defense. That game was 37-20. I think Tampa, and I think everybody else would agree with me, Tampa is way better than the Giants. I like Washington this game.
Okay.
Just because, like you said, he kind of started figuring it out. Daniels did towards the end of that game. He started feeling a lot more comfortable. I think that transitions to this game. We already know what we're getting with Jones. Singletary can't do nothing carrying the ball. I understand Washington does have a great defense, but Giants have no type of offense, so I'm not worried about them. It's just, can Jalen Daniels make enough plays on that Giants defense? And I think he can. So I do like Washington giving the 1.5, and I do like the over on this. This is a game that I possibly would end up teasing.
I knew you were going to say it. Don't tease me.
Taking the over down to, would that be 38 and a half, and you end up getting 4.5 points. I love that. I might be doing a couple teases today.
Oh my God, you and your teasing.
That's sometimes you have to tease.
If it seems easy, it's not though.
That's true. That's true, or everybody would be doing it.
That's what I'm saying. I just, I think the Commanders, they're a fine team, but if you're looking for a quarterback to get a lot of confidence, I mean, I think Daniel Jones could have a week here.
Okay.
That's just a thought.
All right. Fantasy wise, anybody in this game?
Neighbors, 100%.
Okay.
And then I expect Terry McLaurin to have a nice little week here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just the wide receivers, though. I don't see anything else.
Yeah, I don't see anything really in this game. If you have Neighbors, it's kind of one of those players you have a hard time setting, just because how dynamic he is, even as a rookie. So yeah, I'm with you on this, Neighbors.
Okay. All right.
Our last 1:00 game, we got the Cleveland Browns and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Browns are getting 3. Over under is 41.5. The money line, Browns are plus 145. Jacksonville is negative 175.
So you've got two players moving in opposite directions in their career.
Absolutely. Yes.
You have Deshaun Watson, who has yet another case being brought up against him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the NFL is really thrilled with that. By the way, you can have things happen off the field and be playing well, and it doesn't look as bad. But he's also not doing that.
All right, just real quick, since we're touching on Deshaun Watson real quick. and about the off the field problems that he's having. Another case against him. When the Cleveland Browns signed him, it came out that he could not lose any money because of any cases that are brought against him in the 2022 season and the 2023 season. Any new cases brought up against Deshaun Watson is a case that the Browns can void his guaranteed money.
Wow.
Just to let you know, if he is found guilty of this, if the NFL suspends him anymore, there is grounds that the Browns can terminate his contract without paying him any more money.
And then we don't have to talk about the Browns for the next 25 years because that seems to be how it is, right? They had a good quarterback and they
I'm
blew
just
it.
saying because he's guaranteed what was it 275 million. There's no way for the Browns to get out of this contract except for that one way.
Trevor Lawrence is now being, I believe there's a bank that is sponsoring the stadium or the new stadium. And I think the bank's name is Everton
Okay.
Bank. And they're going to call it Trevorton Stadium.
And that's pretty cool.
They like Trevor Lawrence.
Mhm.
Although he makes mistakes on the field and he's not perfect, you know, he is dynamic. He's fun to watch. I'm guessing he does the meet and greets with the kids and the handshakes and the signings and people. He's present for his off the field.
Mm-hmm.
So this game to me, the Jaguars lost the other week to the Miami Dolphins. We all understand that they lost that and didn't regain momentum.
Okay,
But
I just want to point out the reason why they lost this game. All right, it comes down to one play and one play only. Miami was coming back in this game, but it was a 17-14 game with like four or 5 minutes left when actually it might have been even less time than that when the Jacksonville had the ball on their 30. All right. 4th and 1, and they go for it. How do you go for it on your end of the field when you already have the game? You're winning the game. You're up by 3. You have been playing a good defense all game. Why are you doing that? So they gave the Dolphins the ball back on like the 30-something yard line. So they didn't have far to go. So everybody wants to talk how Campbell lost that game in the playoffs against the Niners, and I totally agree with that. Let's put some blame on Jacksonville's coach for this past game for that loss.
And you know, Doug Peterson and Dan Campbell are you know, they were separated at birth. So in case you guys didn't know that. No, I like to spread facts, you know, FAX to everybody.
Oh, yeah, you know.
No, but I'm telling you right now, the NFL wants nothing to do with the Browns winning any games.
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
They're not in Cleveland. They're in Jacksonville.
Mhm.
Right. So there is no way Cleveland wins this game.
No, I like Jacksonville
absolutely.
all day.
Like there will be like for all your Browns fans that you're like, that wasn't holding. Phantom flags are going to be everywhere.
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence is good money. Deshaun Watson is dead money.
Yeah.
And the Cleveland Browns are an awful franchise.
Yeah, they don't want the Browns involved in any type of NFL storyline this year, as long as Watson is your quarterback.
If the story was ever beginning, the pop-up circus is over.
Yeah.
You should just try to call them the clowns.
I mean, you can show how much the NFL, how much they like the Browns by last year. When Watson was there, you heard nothing about the Browns. As soon as Flacco took over, it was all about the Browns. They loved the Browns. The Browns was the darling story of the NFL.
Jaguars are 0-1. They won't be after today.
40-plus-year-old Flacco coming in, saving the day, blah, blah, blah. It was a great storyline. What did you just say?
Jaguars win.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. I like Lawrence in this game. I like ETN in this game.
Ingram. I love Ingram in this game.
Oh, okay. All right. You like the tight end in this game.
Well,
Okay.
you know, so here's the thing. The whole argument is, the Browns are 9th against the tight end. First of all, because you're 9th against the tight end, you only play one game. There's no sample size.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you played against the Cowboys, who had you smashed.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, their tight end got hurt. Their starting tight end, Jake Ferguson, got hurt midway through the game. So you only played against a backup tight end. Your defense is 9th against the backup tight end. Congratulations, clowns. And no, I'm just this is the truth,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And by the way, Brandon Ingram doesn't act as a tight end. He's more of a wide receiver. He gets
Yeah.
the targets of a wide receiver. He gets the receptions as a wide receiver. He doesn't
Mhm.
quite get the touchdowns. Listen, give him 40 yards and a touch today, and you're sitting there going, how long until the Browns are out of the league? Because you
Yeah.
can't act like this as a business and still
Mhm.
participate with other thriving businesses.
Yeah. Yeah. I still think they have a solid defense, but their offense is non-existent. So I do like the Jaguars in this game. I am not touching the over/under at 41.5. I could easily see in this being a 20-3 game, Jacksonville.
I mean, so what's and by the way, Jacksonville's defense was really good last week. But what's more, the NFL does watch their bottom line. Oh, it's a game, it's a business, guys. Grow up.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a business, right? There is no what's more valuable, the Jags going 1-1 or the Browns going 1-1. There is no. I just talked myself so far into this. I'm going into bed. I'm not even joking. That sometimes that happens. I get rolling. I'm like, dude, if the Jaguars lose, I'm willing to lose my house. You heard it here. That's a bet
Yeah.
your house pick. The
Ooh,
Jaguars,
okay.
baby. Give me the blonde locks, 100%.
Okay. All right. Jack likes the Jags that much.
You got me
Okay.
excited. You got me excited.
Okay. I like it. I like
Coffee's kicking in.
it. All right. Now time for the afternoon games, 4:00 games. The first one, we got the Rams at the Cardinals. Rams giving 1, over under is 48. Rams are at -112 money line. Cardinals are at -108 money line. This is basically a pick 'em game, guys.
Yeah.
Definitely a pick 'em game. I don't know about this game. Puka being hurt really hurts the Rams. That means they have really one weapon with Cooper Kupp. Is that enough for them to get by Arizona?
I don't know. I kind of think that both of these teams are going to run the ball more than you think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love that over at 48.
I don't.
I
either.
know that it reads over, and you're going to get smoked in the desert.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a game that I'm not touching either way.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch this. Being like 100%. Just enjoy your cigars and you're winning early because I would leave this one alone.
Not touching it with the 10-foot pole. Go to another game and enjoy another 4:00 game.
Do you enjoy any 4:00 games? Take a look at them.
Yeah, there's really not. We only
tell me
got
the one you
3 on
like.
the docket, but I do like the Chiefs. That's the next game up, by the way. We got Bengals at Chiefs. Bengals getting 6.5. Over under is 48. Bengals are at plus 230 money line. Chiefs are at 285 money line. Love the money line by the Chiefs all day on this. I personally think the Bengals are going to go 0-3 to start the season out.
So they're playing.
I'm just saying that's the NFL script for me for the Bengals this year.
They're playing in
0-3,
Burrowhead,
and they catch
though,
on
aren't they?
fire. They're yes, they are. Yep. They're playing at Arrowhead. Yep,
Burrowhead, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think this could be interesting. I think that it works. It's kind of fun if the Bills are 2-0 and
Mm-hmm.
both of these teams are 1-1, but that only works one way.
Mm-hmm.
It only works one way. What I would do is I know the Bengals are getting 6.
6.5.
6.5. Right. That's fun, isn't it? 6.5.
Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah. Look,
Yep.
pay a little bit more. I know it kills you guys to pay a little bit more. But how about take the Bengals getting 8 points? Take the Bengals getting 8 points. I really believe that Burrow's going to look a lot better. Kansas City looked really good against the guy that couldn't throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Burrow can. And I'm going to tell you right now, if that secondary looks like they did against Lamar Jackson, the same way they look against Joe Burrow, yikes.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's going to miss none of those passes. You're going to be looking at a tie game. And you're going to be looking at 8 points. Oh, but Jack, what if they score 7 in overtime? I don't care. I've got 8 points.
Yeah.
I'm kicked back. I'm relaxing. I don't have to worry about anything. And that's the bets we're trying to provide for you guys. I would pay a little bit more and put this in with a parlay that you like. Put it in with the Cowboys.
Mhm.
Derek Bicycle's not going to beat the Cowboys. Michael Parsons is going to be wearing Michael Parsons' jersey.
If this was mid-season, I would like the Bengals a lot more. It's week
I-
2. I told you how much the Bengals struggle the first couple games. Very slow starting team. I like the Chiefs all day in this game.
All right, we'll see what happens. I got
Money
the
line,
Bengals plus
money
8.
line. I don't like points. Don't like the points at all in this game. This game could go from a 5-point game to a 14-point game. I don't know, but I do know I like the Chiefs just because early in the season, and I mean, the Patriots put up 16 points on these guys. So I mean,
I think so. I think that what was the Chiefs were 7 points better than the Ravens, right? But it was only -3, right? That was the opening line, and now here it's 6.5, and it could be the opposite. It could be
and
-3.
the Bengals was an 8-point favorite over the Patriots.
Right, but it could be opposite this week. Now I want the 8 points, but it's really 3.
Mm-hmm.
These are the games
Yeah.
Vegas plays a little bit. I'm taking the 8 points.
Okay. All right. You're taking the 8. I am just taking the Chiefs money line. Okay. Fantasy wise,
through the rest of these.
what do you like fantasy wise this game? You like anybody in particular? I mean,
Yeah.
Xavier Worthy, I think is going to have another good game. He's going to have a
Worthy will have a
touchdown
good
for you.
game. Worthy will have a good game. Pacheco owners will be unhappy again because he's a nice story, but he's not a great running back. There's a reason why he went so late where he went. But he
Yes,
runs really
exactly.
hard. I
Mhm.
know. I played sports really hard too. Does it look like I'm an athlete? No, I'm just saying. You know,
Yeah, I
he's-
get it.
he's-
Mhm.
He is who he is. He runs really hard. He's fun to watch, but you know, he takes 4 steps and then he gains a yard.
Mhm.
Jamar
But
Chase.
Chase's owners, you think he has a bounce back
Jamar Chase.
week or?
Jamar Chase hates hearing shit from Kansas City.
Yeah.
I mean, they interviewed him in the offseason and they said, yo, who do you like? You know, who's the best quarterback in the NFL? Who do you think it is? He goes, I'm not saying his name. And they go, well, you know, but he just won a Super Bowl. He goes, it's Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Kansas City. It's plain to see. I think he's probably the greatest talent on the field.
Okay.
You know, I know he doesn't throw the ball, but I would watch for a huge performance from Jamar Chase. I'd be really, you know, that dude is locked in for this game and he's sick. He's just one of those guys that like you could see in all the little press conference stuff that Joe Burrow's handling. When you get to Jamar Chase, he's sick of hearing the shit.
Yeah.
I don't like to curse, but he is sick of all of it. And I would, man, you could see 135 and 2 touchdowns.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So bounce back week for Chase.
Yeah, he's.
Got
I mean, he is sick of it, man. It's. I mean, I wouldn't. You know, Justin Jefferson's really happy, and sometimes a happy receiver, you know, doesn't necessarily work as hard. Jamar Chase is pissed.
Yeah. Nope. A lot of pissed off wide receivers work even harder. You're definitely right.
Oh my god! But he's got like he's got a mean streak.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Who else we got?
Next we got the Steelers versus Broncos. Steelers are giving 3. Over under is 36.5. Money line. Steelers are at -155. Broncos are at +130.
All right, so let's have the argument that Bo Nix is a good quarterback. We could at least do that, right? Bo Nix is a good quarterback, and he's going to have a long, fruitful career in the NFL. But there's problems, right? Because he's not Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have Drake London. He doesn't have Bijan Robinson. This Steelers team comes out and beats the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
their defense is elite.
I understand that there's the whole, you know, but the elevation and that look at I'm starting to get close to believing that Justin Fields is going to be something this year.
Okay.
Because the one thing that Mike Tomlin has done to a fault his whole coaching career is let you be yourself. He
Mhm.
gives you so much rope, but he's militant. Look at it. Antonio Brown was allowed to be himself, for better or
Mhm.
worse. Ben Roethlisberger, go slug beers and eat pizzas and drink burgers or eat burgers in the offseason.
Yep.
Go
Do
ahead.
your
Be
thing.
you.
Yep.
Right? Le'Veon Bell, go be you. You want to start a rap career? Sure. We'll help promote the album. Be yourself. Justin
Exactly.
Fields is in the be yourself franchise. And as
Mhm.
long as you develop yourself and do what you need to do, I mean, look at, we always talk about Justin Fields can't support a number one wide receiver. George Pickens, 8 receptions, 85 yards, and those were real throws. Those were not college throws he made. And, I'm starting to, and by the way, Atlanta paid to make their defense better.
Yeah. Yeah. They even brought in Jaron from the Patriots, made a trade before the season, right before
We're
the
still
season started.
talking about a Denver defense that allowed 70 last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they've gotten much better.
No,
Bo Nix is going to be in check downville,
Mhm.
and it's going to be a tight game. I don't think there's a chance that this Denver team wins a tight game against a Pittsburgh-led club. I really don't. And
Mhm.
I think Justin Fields, you're going to see some more flashes this week, and you're like, he's starting at like 215 passing, 85 yards rushing, and how can you put Russell back on the field?
Mhm.
I picked him up
Yeah,
with my fantasy.
I like the Steelers this game. I think they're going to continue rolling. I like them because of their defense. I think their defense is elite. I don't think I love them because they're going up against a rookie quarterback. And Denver doesn't have a lot of weapons. I mean, you have Patrick Surtain on defense, and that's about it. Offense, you got Sutton, and that's about it. So yeah, I'm not really sold on well, not that there is anything to be sold on Denver about, but I do like the Steelers this game. It scares me that it's only at 3.
It's at 3 because that's how Pittsburgh wants to play football, right?
You
They
know?
kind of want to play football the same. Oh, this could be fun. An outside prediction, not really, betting wise, but I would look for a fight this week between these teams.
Okay.
I think Pickens and Surtain get into it because Surtain is chippy, and I'm into wide receivers that have a little extra to them. They come out angry and they don't like taking people's shit. That's George Pickens, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, if Surtain gets chippy with him, there will be words and there will be pain because
Gotcha.
you might see each player get tossed. That's my only fear.
Ooh,
I'm
okay.
serious. It's no
Okay.
joke with Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he
Okay.
really likes Justin Fields, and there's a chance to grow with him. And it's not just me saying this, by the way. I'm an analyst, but you have to understand the Steelers nation follows one man and one man only to this day, and it's not Mike Tomlin, it's Bill Cowher.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill Cowher is on national TV going, I think Justin Fields is the right guy for this team. He doesn't turn the ball over. He played great Pittsburgh Steelers offense, right? In not turning the ball over, you have to understand that you're playing to the defense, right? Didn't make lazy throws, picked up 5 yards when he needed to. It was real interesting. And you may have a guy now that's starting to grow into the position. I understand that, he wasn't great in Chicago, but Chicago's coaching staff aren't even the adults in the room. It's Caleb Williams now. He knows the branding. He knows he's putting the claw up. He's doing the interviews. Justin Fields is getting an adult in Mike Tomlin who's letting him be himself. And I think that's the interesting part of this. If you now get a coach that allows you to develop not only as a football player, but a person, a voice in the locker room as the team, you're really getting somewhere. And I'm all in on Justin Fields. I'm sorry to all the Russell Wilson believers, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think the train has left the station, and if they go 2-0, what's ironic here is if Pittsburgh wins, Fields and the Steelers go 2-0, And Sean Payton attributes once again to Russell Wilson not having a job. He gets him twice. What do you think about that, Greg?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Twice. He gets him twice. I think Sean Payton would kind of revel in that a little bit. Yeah, we took a loss, but we're lucky we didn't get to see Russell Wilson this week.
Yeah. I think if Russell Wilson came out and actually beat them, that would have been a real slap in his face. And he's just so happy he gets to avoid that.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next we got, let's see, that's our 4:00 games. Our late game tonight is Chicago Bears at Houston Texans. Bears getting 6, over unders 45. Bears are at plus 200 money line. Houston's at negative 245 money line.
What do you like here?
I like Houston all day in this game. All day. Bears should have lost last week. Their special teams kept them in it with that block. Defense played lights out. I just think the Texans has too much firepower for the Bears. I like Texans easily in this game.
I think you're right. My favorite bet here though is the over.
Okay.
Because you're getting most value, right? I understand you put that line out there, but my favorite bet is the over here because it's 45.5. Lots of firepower in Houston.
45.
I think 45. All right, I have 45.5.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
So
DraftKings has it at 45.
Okay, well, so you're getting better value there. That's good.
Yep. That's why I said it's good to shop around, guys. That half a point can make all the difference. From
it comes right back to your point.
Our hitting or losing by half a point. So shop around. Where are you at that it's at 45.5?
So I'm at Hard Rock.
Okay.
It may have changed. I'll give you guys a live look. It won't take very long. Nope, still 45.5 at Hard Rock.
Okay.
So
there you go, guys.
So the line has come down though. It's come from 6.5 to I've got 5.5.
Oh, I'm at 6. So
okay,
so I like the 5.5 even more.
There's a little bit of stuff going on here. So I think this game's much closer than people think.
Okay.
I think it's closer to 3. I think the over comes in. I love the 6.5 that Chicago's getting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that because here's the thing I think about Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams went out last week and there wasn't a much there. I think he plays up and down to people. He's a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
He did that in college, by the way, played up and down to his competition.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what everybody's saying about Houston. Houston, and he's getting all this shit all this week about how he didn't play well and all that. Caleb Williams is an athlete. He's a real number 1 draft pick.
He is very, very inaccurate last week.
He is, but you're going to see why he's special here. I believe he's one of those guys that doesn't, once the noise comes in, he takes the piece of paper and he throws it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all the noise is gone. First game jitters gone. We're on Sunday Night Football. CJ Stroud doesn't care. And you know what? I don't care either.
Yeah,
I love Chicago and the points here. I think it's a trap game to think that Houston's just going to roll over Chicago.
Just to kind of put in perspective what Caleb Williams did last week. He did nothing. He had a quarterback rating of 56. He had 93 yards passing, completion percentage of 48%. He was 14 for 29. Where I think they need to change their philosophy a little bit is get DeAndre Swift a little bit more involved. I mean, he only had 10 rushing attempts last week for 30 yards. They need to get him way more involved.
And I think you can see, I think you'll see a better philosophy. I think you'll see screen passes with Swift,
mm-hmm.
right? Let's invite this defense that's aggressive, right? Because Houston's aggressive. Mm-hmm. Let's invite them in, get a screen pass down. I think that Caleb Williams did a lot last week to try to incorporate everybody in the offense instead of running the offense. Keenan Allen's a great option route runner, but when you run option routes, I have to guess right.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
sometimes that's both of our faults because we don't know each other well enough.
Mhm.
I think that you're going to see a steady dose of DJ Moore like you saw at the end of last week's game, early and often. If DJ Moore, look at, I'll get you involved, Keenan, I'll do my best. But when it's an option route, I can't be guessing. I got to go to DJ. I think DJ Moore could end up with 9 catches. He could end up with a Stephon Diggs stat line.
Okay. All right. And everybody might be like, well, Caleb Williams, he runs the ball a lot too. He's good at running. He ran the ball for 5 times for 15 yards. His long run was 11. So he had 4 other runs only for 4 yards.
I think he likes remaking the pocket.
So,
that's what he enjoys. If he has to, he'll remake the pocket. That's what he's really comfortable with. I don't, is he Patrick Mahomes? Is he this guy? I don't know who actually, who I thought he always was? I always thought Caleb Williams, because he's not super tall either. He's about 6 foot tall. I always thought he was Johnny Manziel with a better arm. And not a drunk.
Not a drunk.
No, I'm saying, because when you look, people go, oh, but Johnny Manziel, oh, I'm sorry, he only won the Heisman Trophy. And you can say whatever you like or don't like about him, but at running, watch his college stats. He's all over the board. He's hard to
tell
defend.
me. I mean, I've seen Johnny Manziel personally with against Bama every freaking year.
That's what makes it hard to defend.
Mike Evans. If he didn't have Mike Evans, he wouldn't have been as good as he was. Mike Evans made. Oh, I know. I'm just saying. And Mike Evans, there were so many times against Bama, he would just chuck it up to Mike Evans. He would just come down with it.
Yeah. So I do believe that Chicago's being discredited a little bit. And now that it's come down to 5.5, I would still want the 6.5. I think they're being discredited. I'll take the Bears.
All right. I like Texans in a rout in this game.
Okay.
Okay. Tomorrow night, Monday night, we got the Falcons at Eagles. Falcons are getting 6 points. Over under is 46.5. Money line, Falcons are at plus 215. Eagles are at negative 265. I'm actually surprised this game, this line isn't closer to 8 than 6. Just because the Falcons looked really flat last week. Eagles did come out. They looked good last week. So this line is a little surprising to me.
I don't know. I don't know whether I like the underdog a little bit here, or I think if you watch that Packers-Eagles game, the Packers were really in that game.
Oh yeah, they were. Yeah, yep.
I
mean, they had a shot all the way at the end, even with the Hail Mary that Willis couldn't get it off.
If people forget, Philly was down at halftime. The Packers looked like the better team. They looked more put together. I understand that it's going to be.
The Eagles still look nice, though. They did look like scrubs.
And this is going to be a Philly homecoming. It's their first home game. But there's the same amount of talent that's on Atlanta is the same kind of talent that was in Green Bay. I kind of like the 6 points.
Okay.
That Philly defense scared me none. They didn't get to Jordan Love. He stood there and he almost had a snack. You got Bijan Robinson, you got Kyle Pitts, Kirk Cousins is going to get better with these guys. I don't see the 6.
Okay.
I think Atlanta's competitive.
I don't like the points at all anyways. I do like the Eagles to win this straight out, so I love the money line on this. I'm going to be all over it. But yeah, I don't like the points either. Eagles could very well end up blowing the Falcons out in this game very easily. I mean, they're probably the most loaded offensive team in the NFL from top to bottom.
Yeah,
defense is still young. Their secondary is all young, so they're just going to keep getting better and better this year. So yeah, I do like the Eagles a lot in this game, but like I said, I'd stay away from the points. I'm just taking the money line in this game.
You could see wild things happen in this one. Like it's 24-20. And Kirk is leading a game-winning drive, and they win 27-24, and they burn down Philly.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I don't
I'm
see
just
that happening.
stuff like
I
this
just think
happens early, though.
Philly's light years better than the Falcons.
All right.
Falcons still has a lot they need to figure out. They couldn't do nothing against that Steelers defense last week. And I understand I just was praising the Steelers defense, but again, you're going up against the Eagles defense that can get at you too. I think that secondary will get better as the season goes because they're all rookies. So I like the Eagles in this game. I wasn't trying to talk myself into it by this little rant right here, but I do like the Eagles. Take away the points though, money line only.
Yeah, and that's where I like Atlanta. I like them. Like if he doesn't get the game-winning drive, they lose 24-20.
Mm-hmm.
I
got
like
you.
the 6.
Okay. Jack likes the 6. I like the money line. Since we only do this on Sundays, we're here anywhere from around 10:15 here on Sundays for you. We like to give you guys our Monday night game or our Thursday night game.
Thursday night, yeah.
We don't get to see you. So our Thursday night game is the Patriots at Jets. Right now, the Patriots are getting 7. Over under is 39.5. And money line plus 240 are for the Patriots, negative 198 for the Jets. Who do you like this game? This is a rival game, guys. This is a rivalry game.
Jets, and I don't think there's much to it.
Okay.
I don't know what fantasy guys. I don't know what injuries we're gonna have or not have, but I will tell you that I like the Jets.
Okay. I like the Jets also. Right now, I like the Jets anyways, barring any injuries today. I mean, I wish I could see the Jets a little bit more before I made this decision. But yeah, if I had to pick right now, I'd roll with the Jets right now, money line.
Yeah, I mean they're getting the Titans followed by the Patriots. These are gifts.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys, that's our picks for this week. No fantasy questions yet this week. We hope to get that soon. We love answering your questions, so let's get them in there. Any final thoughts on today's games?
I don't. Just good luck to get today, guys, and be careful. Right? You can go from a high account to a low account really quick by over betting. If you take a couple games early, remember they want your money late at night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't be chasing, guys. Don't be chasing. When you start chasing, that's when you start getting yourself in trouble. Bet responsible. Jack and I are here to give you our best diagnosis of every game, give you your best chance to win every game. So make sure you tune into us every Sunday to get your best information, your best bets, and your best fantasy advice all in one place. Who else does this?
Nobody does this. And
in one show. We don't break it up to multiple shows where you guys have to jump around show to show on YouTube. Oh, what are they going to talk here? We have you guys one-stop shop right here. We're a 7-Eleven. That's what we are.
And every single Sunday, guys, we'll give you our best point on the Every Point Sports Podcast, because not only should you know who's going to win, the what's, the where's, and the whys of how everything has unfolded with these lines and with the fantasy news that is headed your way. That is my final thoughts. Good luck, and hopefully you guys take a lot of money this week.
Everybody have a great week, and we'll see you back here same time next week.
All right. Good night, guys.